laying down the asphalt and putting in a median was the big ticket item. The signals, they're needed and they're going to make everything work, but they're a fraction of the other types of activities.
And how does it kind of relate in terms of the cash outlay?
You would, in a typical, kind of deployment, you're going to do some upfront design, which might be, 8 to 10% of the overall cost. Then after design is done, you're going to put together some specs and bidding type documents that you could, ship out to a contractor or someone. Those folks are going to take a look at that and come back to you and say, okay, here's what we're going to do that's compliant with your specs in your construction drawing. And then now here's a price. Somebody's going to look at that and go, oh, do these prices match what we thought in the engineer's estimate? And if they're within, some sort of specification range, maybe it's, 5 to 10% over, they'll accept those bids, they'll award the contract, and then they'll get moving on construction. So it's sort of that's a traditional linear process. There's also a design build process, which takes place with, bigger projects, bigger roadway projects, where almost as fast as the designers and people like me are putting the plans together, the contractor is building them. I mean, we had a particular project where, almost every night we'd update the plan sets or update a brand new part of it and send it to the contractor, and they'd start working on it the next day or the next week or the next month, depending on how big the plan set was. The public too always wants stuff done yesterday. So there's a big push to get things, specified, engineered, designed, and then built as quickly as we can. Because, time is money for everybody.
Definitely. That makes sense. So kind of ability to be able to, so you say, kind of differentiators in terms of these guys when they come in to pitch for business is kind of technologies, more table stakes, and then it's price and timing.
Yeah, timing is big. That to me, if I'm going to look at buying a system is, what you have now, how customizable am I just a typical deployment? Or, am I a little bit of an anomaly and you got to build some new stuff in? And then when could you get the hardware and software installed? When are they going to start playing nice together? When can we do what's called acceptance testing? So before we sort of go live with the system and it's under traffic, we've got to put it through some paces to say, okay, does it work? Can it handle failures? Can it handle half the system going down or whatever it is, what are the tolerances? And let's test it and let's see how it reacts. And then if that goes well, and then boom, we have a cutover date where everything goes live. And, if I'm helping my municipal clients, those are the types of questions we want to ask the providers. What is your track record of doing that? How successful have you been? Let's call up a previous customer or an existing customer who's gone through a similar experience maybe that we're going through, and we want to talk to them, and we want to get their candid evaluation of how you guys did, both during the install, during the testing, and then after, did you have any, we'll ask them, did you have any problems? Yeah, we did. Well, how were they responsive? Oh, they were great, and that's reassuring when you hear other people that had a good experience.
Sure. That makes sense. And then kind of circling back to budget money, kind of what do you see happening to this industry in the case of a recession?
Yeah, in recessive times, people sort of hunker down and get back to their bunker, and they have a mentality of let's take care of what we got. So in those times, maybe these types of deployments are more attractive because they're not as costly as building, say, new capacity. They could, even though they're not sexy, they could really have an impact on travel time and travel time reliability. which now